Randolph had done a decent job of stringing that play out, and I thought Trent made a nice lateral move to get past that initial set of defenders and up to the line of scrimmage. And we're going to have a 15-yard face mask penalty against the Randolph defense. It's going to take the ball to the 40-yard line.
We had just notified Brian that we were video was not working, so we got that working. So we apologize for those that are just joining us. You're 10:52 into the remaining in the first quarter.
And we got another rollout to the left from Curtis Olson. Throw, kind of a wounded duck throw, and it's going to be almost picked off by the Randolph defender, number 1, Owen Nelson, slipped through his hands. Cooper Brown was out there to the left. That was Bryce Hinsdale out there to the left. And the ball just kind of fluttered out of Colter Curtis's hand that time, and we're lucky to be remaining possession here. So second down and 10 from just inside the 40-yard line, CSP on the Randolph side of the field. Wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left, 1 running back in the backfield. Going to be another pass play from Curtis. We got an out route to Bryce Hinsdale, who catches the ball, makes about a 6-yard play on it to the left hash mark. And we're going to be third down and about 4 on the left hash mark for the CSP Wolfpack. 10:25 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can tell early on what CSP's game plan is for this game, and it is to throw the football. So
we got motion. Bryce Hinsdale working his way from the left part of the huddle to the right part of the field. Micah Willink on the right side and Cooper Brown on the left. Split wide receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. Back up for Curtis Olson, an out route to Gabe Roth. A little flat route out into the flats. Makes about a 10-yard play on that. That's going to be a first down to about the 25-yard line. So the CSP Wolfpack is in business here, and like you said, Kyle, we are definitely in pass mode today.
Yep. And that's where Randolph is susceptible. I think their coach even admitted to it in the paper this morning, but as you watch film, that is where they are weak. They are very strong up the middle and on the line of scrimmage.
And we're going to have Trent Burchanowski around the left end. He's going to make some hay up to the second line of defenders, and he's going to get taken out of bounds by number 2, Tristan Farnham, but not before he gains enough for another CSP Wolfpack first down. So we're going to be first down and 10 at about the 15-yard line. Little right, little left, little pass, a little bit of everything out of Coach Ty Harper's offense today so far. Curtis Olson up under center. Hand off to Gabe Roth to the right-hand side, up through a hole, tries to make out to the outside, gained about 2 yards on that. It's going to be second down and about 8 from the 13-yard line or so.
Yeah, I think today they're going to run the ball to keep Randolph honest, but I would suspect second and long here that they may go back to the pass play.
So we got 2 wide receivers left, now 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right, running back in the backfield, Curtis Olson from the shotgun. We got Gabe Roth motioning across to the right side, so now we have 2 left, 2 right, and another pass play. Screen play down the middle. It's actually batted down by number 79, Sterling Sky. That ball really could have been potentially picked off.
Yeah.
Sterling had that in both hands as a defensive lineman. I'm not sure what his hands team is like, but he had that for the taking. CSP lucky to retain the ball, third down.
Yeah, there was yardage there to be had, but 79 made a great play, and I'm sure as they watch that film, the coach is going to bust him for dropping that. But
yep.
us linemen, we don't have the best hands.
So Curtis Olson out of the shotgun again, another pass, another screen play, center screen. Looking for Micah Willink across the middle there, and pretty well defended by the Randolph Cardinal. And it's going to be now fourth down from about the 16-yard line. And looks like there's a little breeze today. It's coming at us from left to right, so it's into the way that we're actually driving the ball. And so CSP is going to opt to go ahead and try the fourth down play. 4th and 9 from the 15-yard line. CSP up on the line. No huddle for this offense today so far. Curtis Olson out of the shotgun. Splits right. Now he's going to motion Cooper Brown back to the left part of the field. He's looking to pass it to Bryce Hinsdale, just outside the outstretched hands of Bryce Hinsdale on the left hash mark. Good pass. Nice try by Bryce. And just outside the outstretched arms of Bryce Hinsdale.
Yeah, that was a really good pass, and the play worked about how they wanted it to, just didn't complete the pass. So.
Yep, it certainly had all the makings. Actually, it was Bryce was the one, I believe, that was cutting away the cross. They brought him in motion from the right side back to the left and tried to catch him with the defender asleep and just past the outstretched fingers. So CSP turns the ball over on downs on their first drive. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Randolph Cardinal from their 15-yard line, driving left to right. 8:48 left here in the first quarter. 0-0 is your score. And Randolph's going to run it off the right-hand side. That's going to be their tailback, Xander Hind, who we're going to probably call his name a lot today. He's their workhorse, and he gets a quick 3 yards off the right tackle.
Yeah, they were in I formation there, and they run 2 plays out of that I formation. They'll run off tackle, similar to what they just did, or they'll run an option play. They also have a formation that's a double wing, and what's interesting about that is they will always run to the power side, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Hard count by the quarterback for Randolph, who then promptly hands it off to Luke Paget, excuse me, and that's going to be enough for a Randolph first down right up the middle, just past the first down marker. So they're going to have 1st down and 10 from about the 25.5-yard line, driving from left to right. I thought they got the CSP defense on an offsides penalty there. There was a hard count. 2 or 3 guys jumped, but they must not have crossed that imaginary line to be offside, so they let the play stand. Randolph is split right. Tailback up the middle. Number 37 is Xander Hind again, and you can see why they like him. He's running, taking tacklers with him down the left-hand side of the field. Justin Massing over there, as well as Drake DiDomenico on the tackle.
He's a kid that runs downhill, Brian, and as you see him, he's always falling forward, which is what you're looking for in a good back. Xander's a 5'9", 170-pound junior, so he's going to be set up for good things next year too.
Yep, and our quarterback, Carson Conley, number 3, is promptly hands off. And Hayden Heiser in the backfield on that one. Tackles the runner at about the line of scrimmage, but once again, they only needed about a half a yard, and they did get that, so that's enough for another Randolph first down, and they're driving. Some of the uniforms are a little tough to tell the numbers, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, that's right.
The light green on the dark background, sometimes the 1s and the 4s and the 5s and the 9s kind of rub into each other, so if we call the wrong name, we apologize.
A little option play here.
Option play. Carson Conley, that's their quarterback around the left-hand side. He was a quarterback keeper. They faked it up the middle to Hind, and Conley kept it. And he's a big kid, too, 6'3", 185. So I don't know what's in the water over in Randolph area, but they've got the big kids for sure.
6:45 remaining in the first quarter. 0-0 score here in Panama.
We got a Randolph first down from about the 42-yard line, and CSP defense does a nice job of stacking that one up. Looks like
that was Paget again.
Paget and Justin Massing in on the tackle on that one. And Coach Payne doing a nice job of switching his defensive linemen in and out, because it appears that both teams are going to be pretty quick to the line here. Randolph huddles, but they're not back there very long because they don't have to worry about trying to call a pass play. It's a run. So they do start out with a wide right, power I, and quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to Xander Hind again. He's another 3 yards up the middle, and looks like Trayvon Copta in on the tackle, as well as Lucas Lissandro in on that tackle.
And what this running game does, Brian, is it really controls the clock for Randolph. They have when you run the ball as much as they do, they have the time of possession is typically in the favor of the offense, which is a reason why you've got to rotate those D linemen, because they're going to be out there a lot.
So they're right up on the line again. Once again, as a quarterback option, who that time he actually flipped it over to Xander Hind, who was the tailback, not the fullback that time, and they got enough around the outside left-hand side of the offense for about a 15-yard gain. Going to be another Randolph first down.
The option is so difficult to defend because you have to be so disciplined. That end has to have the quarterback, the outside linebacker has to have the pitch man, and all those pieces have to work to stop the option. It's very old school, but it's proved the test of time for sure.
Very effective, especially at the high school level. So Randolph's up to the line. They got split receivers, one on each side. and number 12 takes the snap, and Micah Willink wraps up Xander Hine, trying to make his way around the right-hand side, but still he got 4 yards. Micah coming up from his outside linebacker position and wrapped him up, but not before he got enough for about a 4-yard gain. So we're going to be 2nd down and 6 from the 32-yard line with a quick moving first quarter here. We're down at the 6-minute mark already. Randolph send the play in from the sideline. CSP defense is setting up here, and here we go.
I think you'll see Trayvon Copta and Micah will move to the power side, which is what we want. Those are our 2 best.
And that's Xander Hine with his handoff from the quarterback up the left-hand side, made his way through to the 3rd level. Bryce Hinsdale actually with the tackle, but that was already after he gained 13 yards up the left-hand side. And you can see that the Randolph blocking scheme has the CSP defense just a little on edge right now.
Yep.
So as Randolph makes their way to the line, once again, power I formation, wide receiver on both sides, 2 running backs, a quarterback up underneath the center, takes the snap, hands it up to the up back this time, and that's bottled up real well by Justin Massing. Little to no gain.
Great play by Justin. He really came onto the scene last year. He was dominant in spring ball, and he's feeding off of that, and there are times he is just not blockable, and that was one of them. And he's really been a great asset to the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and he's going to have a big game today inside there. And as Randolph's to the line, hands it off to Xander Hine. Once again, gets tripped up in the backfield that time. Actually, Hayden Heiser, I believe, that got a finger on him and got him kind of off balance. But like you said, he still was able to get about 2 yards as he never falls backwards. He is always looking to gain some yardage. So
3rd and long here for Randolph. This is not an ideal yardage for a team that runs the option, but when you've got 37 in the backfield, turn around and hand it and say, go get us a 1st down.
And another option. This time the ball's on the ground. Xander Hine smartly kind of swats the ball outside and it runs out of bounds, but that ball was available. That was on the ground, so that's going to be for a gain of, they're going to give them basically no yardage. So now we're looking at 4th and 9 from about the 17-yard line. And
nice play by the defensive end on that side. Made that pitch difficult for the quarterback, which led to the fumble.
I believe they got Gabe Roth back in over there. So Gabe doing a nice job from his right defensive end position. Snap out of the shotgun.
Nice play. Good pursuit there by the defense.
So Lucas Lissandro John Watson makes his way into the backfield and disrupts that whole play. Blew the whole thing up all by himself. He's not going to get the credit for the tackle, as I believe Hayden Heiser and Justin Massing were in on that. But it was John Watson coming in from his right defensive tackle position and disrupted that whole play and blew the whole thing up.
Yeah, John had a great game last week, and doing that again today. He's a wrestler. Wrestlers typically make great football players. And he knows center of gravity, and he knows how to get leverage. And John he's been a nice. He's going to be good.
So CSP once again, quick offense here. We're going to look to throw. Curtis Olson with Cooper Brown with a nice over-the-shoulder look. Just goes through his hands after about a 30-yard attempt on the left-hand side. Cooper had actually made his way behind the defensive back from Randolph and had a step on him, and that ball just outside the outstretched hands of Cooper Brown. Once again, the CSP offense. Good throw. Yep.
Just about the only place he could put it, and just couldn't connect. We've been close on both the last 2 plays.
So the Wolfpack up on the line again. We got dual right, handoff to Gabe Roth up the right-hand side, and somebody's yelling fumble out there. I don't see any type of a call by the official other than it's going to be 3rd down. So
that'd be 3rd and 10 for CSP. 2:40 remaining in the first quarter with a running clock. 0-0. No score here in Panama.
So the CSP Wolfpack once again approaching the line of scrimmage. All 11 players looking at their wristbands to get the play call. And Curtis Olson is up under center for this particular play. Power I. We got 3 backs in the backfield. And he's going to roll out of that, and he's going to look to find Micah Willink. And Micah actually did come down with that ball, and that was a really nice catch because number 3, Josh Bush, had him pretty well wrapped up, and Micah caught it on the rebound, actually. I think it bounced off his helmet.
I think it looks like CSP's putting their punt team in, so we'll get the first punt of the day.
Yep, it's going to be 4th and 4 from about the 30-yard line, and with 1:50 left here in a fast-moving first quarter, Bryce Hinsdale back to see what we can do to pin Randolph. And actually what they did, they gave a hard count, Kyle, and I believe that we got Randolph on an offsides penalty.
Yeah, and that should result in that should be an automatic, or not an automatic first down, but it will result in a first down.
Yep, because it was 4th and 4, and that should be a 5-yard penalty as long as we're going to call it on Randolph. No official signal yet, but now we do. Offsides on Randolph, so that was a very, very heads-up play by whoever was on the snap count on the CSP punt team.
Yep, Coach Brown for Randolph is not going to be pleased with that. Teams are always very disciplined, and he is not going to be happy with that play there.
So CSP offense re-enters the game here. 1.5 left in a fast-moving first quarter. We got 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line with 1.5 left to go. Power eye look again for the CSP Wolfpack, and this is going to be a pitch to Trent Burchanowski up the left-hand side. It's going to gain about 5 yards up to the 40-yard line before he goes out of bounds, which should stop the clock momentarily here while the officials set the ball. But once again, CSP is going to be up on the line, and they're going to be looking to play.
Difficult there because they were going against the boundary, so they were going with a little bit of a short field, and running a pitch on a short field can be difficult. But we were able to pick up 4 or 5 yards, and good start to the drive.
So Curtis Olson out of the shotgun this time, and another pass play. Looking for, looks like
that was Micah
Willink on the right-hand side. The ball kind of fluttered. There is some wind today, folks, so that ball is going to flutter just a little bit. And Micah tried to corral that one in over top of the Randolph defender, but the ball falls harmlessly to the ground. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 5.
And with Micah's height, Brian, it's a lot of times just throw the ball up and allow Micah to go get it. He's going up against some corners that are significantly shorter than he is.
So we got splits right, Micah to the left, dragging Micah across the middle. Another look for Curtis, and this one's going to catch Micah, and he slips on the field, but he's going to have enough for a first down before he went down. So it's going to be a first down CSP Wolfpack. Micah Willink with a nice pass and catch with Curtis Olson. And it's going to be first down from the 46-yard line with about 1:10 left. And once again, CSP Wolfpack up on the line with splits left and right. Power eye look again in the backfield with 3 running backs. And snap to Curtis Olson. This time it's going to be a handoff up the middle. And that's going to be Trent Burchanowski for a tough 4-yard run up the middle. And yeah, I'm liking what the offense is looking like here, Kyle. We got a little bit of everything. We got some rollouts. We got some deep passes, some short across the middle throws, some bubble screens.
Yeah, it's a good mix. It keeps Randolph on their toes a little bit. And, it's good game plan.
Curtis under center, looks to the roll to the left. He's looking to pass. And there he's got Lucas Lissandro with a nice pass attempt. That ball was just outside his outstretched hands as he was the 3rd receiver in the area over there. They had 1 short, 1 middle, and 1 deep, and Lucas was the middle receiver. So that ball goes incomplete on about a 15-yard potential pass completion. But once again, that's incomplete. So we're looking at 3rd down and 7 from the 48-yard line. CSP up on the line, 33 seconds left here in the first quarter. 0-0 your score here from Jack Keeney Field. Trips left, wide right, Curtis in the shotgun, and we're going to have a snap. We're going to bring Gabe across the backfield in a motion play, and now Curtis takes the snap. Lucas Lissandro with a nice screen pass catch, and now Lucas is making his way up through the middle of the Randolph defense. And now Lucas with a nice 20-yard pass completion, a 5-yard pass, but a nice 15-yard run right up the guts of the Randolph defense. And he got some nice downfield blocks from his downfield receivers.
Yeah, great individual effort there by Lucas, breaking the initial tackle and then getting upfield.
So trips right, Curtis is in the shotgun. We got another pass potential. Micah Willink with a drop on that one, so that's going to bring the play clock to a stop with 8.6 seconds left here in a very, very fast-moving first quarter. CSP is on the line of scrimmage, and they're looking at their wristbands, and we're going to get the last play of the first quarter in all likelihood.
Yeah, that would be one that Micah would want back for sure, but on to the next play.
And we have a pitch and a right run from Gabe Roth around the right-hand side, taken down after about a 3-yard gain by the Randolph defense. Number 2, Tristan Farnham in on that, and that is going to bring the end of the first quarter. So at the end of 1 here from Jack Keeney Field, we have CSP nothing, Randolph nothing, with a game that's been played pretty much within the 20s from both sides. And I'd like to thank the support for CSP Wolfpack Football play-by-play on the Channel 98.9 sports stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The credit union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union has offices located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, and 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play. Also want to thank Lictus Keystone. Funding for this particular Corry Federal Credit Union sports team broadcast comes in part from Lictus Oil and Propane and Climber. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services on and off, and diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. And underwriting for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports team coverage of CSP football is provided by Triple E Manufacturing. Triple E Manufacturing offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. Triple E Manufacturing of Sherman, online at tripleemanufacturing.com. So now we switch ends of the field, Kyle, and it's going to be 3rd and 7, let's call it, Wolfpack from the 35-yard line, going left to right now. So we have the wind at our back now.
Yeah, and I would expect in the second quarter very much the same as what we saw in the first, and CSP starts in the shotgun.
Curtis Olson back, and this time he's going to be taken down by number 87, who is their big defensive stalwart, Jaden Huntington, who comes highly touted. He's their best defender and also their best wide receiver, and you can see why.
Yeah, he came pretty much untouched off the edge. Looked like maybe there was a blocking scheme miscommunication there, but looks like CSP's going to get into punt formation. Yeah,
that'd be one guy you want to make sure you don't lose track of. So CSP is going to be into punt formation. Bryce Hinsdale back to receive the snap, and it's 4th down from the 47-yard line. Clean snap, clean catch, good punt by Bryce Hinsdale, driving the Randolph defenders back. And that's going to take a CSP Wolfpack bounce, and that's going to be down at about the 7-yard line. So mission accomplished.
Yep, good punt by Bryce there, and gives Randolph a long field to go here.
Support for the Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of CSP football is provided by Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering. Mosier's installs carpeting, vinyl, laminate floors, as well as tile. Mosier's, Main Street and Climber.
11:05 and remaining in the second quarter. No score here in Panama.
So Randolph once again to the line of scrimmage, kind of a power eye look. They got 2 offensive backs on the left-hand side. They're going to hand it to Xander Hine kind of up the middle, and a little bit of a counter play there, and he's going to make 7 or 8 yards up the left-hand side of the CSP defense. Once again, the ground game is kind of where it's at for Randolph, and they're continuing to show that here.
Yeah, it's when it's second and short, that makes it that opens up the playbook for sure for Coach Brown, and so I would expect to see something similar here.
So from the left hash mark, going right to left now, Randolph to the line, quarterback in the shotgun formation. They're going to have a little motion to the left. They got Xander Hine. This time they're going to get him wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a real nice play back there by the Lucas Lissandro coming in from his outside linebacking position. He's going to take Xander for about a 4-yard loss or so.
And Trayvon Copta was there as well to lend support. So big 3rd down and 3 here for CSP defense. Really would like to hold them here and maybe get force a punt and get good field position for the offense.
Yep, big down here. We've struggled a little bit trying to get Randolph less than 3 yards of play. This will be a big test for the CSP Wolfpack. Excuse me. And right on cue, Xander Hine with a run up the middle. Bryce Hinsdale with a touchdown-saving tackle from his safety position. That's going to be a 1st down right up the middle. 1st down from about the 44-yard line, and we're going to have an injured player for the CSP Wolfpack. It looks like it might be Bryce Hinsdale that's down as Coach Harper makes his way to center field. So we'll break away for a minute, and thanks to more sponsors. Crouch's Garage, 2 East Main Street in Panama, underwrites the Corry Federal Credit Union coverage of CSP football on Channel 98.9. Crouch's offers automated service, state inspection, and used cars, too. We thank Crouch's Garage for their support. Funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union coverage of CSP football is also provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech, Robert Leonard from Panama, installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook. Kreger Racing Engines proudly supports CSP football and is supported in part Kreger Racing Engines and Mike's Machine and Climber. Kreger Racing Engines provides performance machining and assembly for race teams nationwide. Best wishes to the Wolfpack from Kreger Racing Engines. As Bryce Hinsdale is still on the ground, coach is calling for maybe a trainer. Oh, nope. He's looking for a water bottle, not a trainer. So Bryce makes his way off the field under his own power. I don't know if he maybe just might have got the wind knocked out of him, actually. Is kind of what it looks like. And he looks to be maybe out for a play or two, but hopefully nothing worse than that. So this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream podcast is being made possible with funding from Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry. For over 50 years, Leisure Time has offered motorcycles, dirt bikes, side-by-side snowmobiles, and agricultural equipment. We thank Leisure Time Power Sports in Corry and Bradford for their support.
All right, it'll be 1st and 10 here for Randolph. 8:43 left in the 2nd quarter. Scoreless, still scoreless. 1st and 10 for Randolph.
And they got the power. I look again, black back split beside their quarterback this time, but once again, a fake handoff to Xavier Hine, and that one's going to be broken up by Lucas Lissandro, and that's going to be Ashton Munson on the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. CSP defense well defended on that one. They faked that handoff to Xavier Hind and tried to run a little sneak up the middle, and CSP defense was all over that.
Yeah, great penetration by both the defensive line and the linebacker to stop the quarterback. And once his momentum got stopped, it's all over there.
So Randolph from the near hash mark up on the line under center this time. Another handoff to Xander Hind. He's going to make a move to the outside and go out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain. And it looks like Micah Willink, Trayvon Copta, and John Watson on the tackle, assisted by the out-of-bounds line. So we got 3rd and 5 right on the 50-yard line, folks. Randolph driving from right to left. 8:35 left here in the 1st quarter. Scores 0-0 in a very fast-moving game.
Big 3rd down and 5 here, Brian. It's may or may not be 2-down territory for Randolph. I think it depends on how this play works.
Hand off to Xavier Hind, and that's going to be big Justin Massing with a solo tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Justin once again made his way into the offensive backfield and just disrupted that whole play, leaving Xander Hind with no place to go. So that's going to be basically a loss of about a half a yard, and we're going to have 4th down from just short of the 50-yard line here, and we'll see what Coach Brent Brown has going.
Justin almost took that handoff.
He sure did. So Randolph shows up under punt formation here, and CSP defense quickly relines themselves for punt return, and waiting for the snap from the center, which is good. Punt is away, and looks to be low line drive up the right-hand side, and going to be out of bounds at about the CSP 10-yard line or so. Yeah, they're actually going to give him a little bit more than that.
Keep walking, yeah.
Yep. kind of a tough angle for us to tell, but the ref looks like he's stopped about the 17-yard line, so CSP is going to take possession. 1st and 10 going left to right on your radio dial, and this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of the Wolfpack is brought to you in part by Pat Finnerty at Finn's Auto Sales on the Niobe Road in Panama. Finn specializes in Subaru service and offers used cars as well as home of 1J Racing. We thank Finn's Auto Sales for their support. And Dale and Cindy Appleby at Appleby Motorsports are supporters of the Wolfpack and the Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream. Appleby Motorsports, located in North Clymer, offers racing accessories and chassis setup for race teams in the region. We thank Appleby Motorsports for their support. CSP to the line now. Curtis Olson under center. Wide right, trips behind him. Power eye look. Curtis Olson with a handoff to Trent Burchanowski around the right-hand side, and Trent's going to be around the right end for about 4 yards or so. It's going to get up to about the 20-yard line.
And that's really what we want to do. We want to get Trent to the second level. He's very, very fast, and if we can get him to pass that initial line, good things could happen.
So CSP once again with a no-huddle look. They're right on the line of scrimmage. Curtis Olson under center. We got 2 wide left, 2 backs in the backfield. Curtis under center. Going to take the snap, and it looks like it's going to be a pass attempt here. Deep pass look down the left-hand side, and that defensive back was kind of all over Cooper Brown over there. And that's Owen Nelson, and I guess it was really well defended. The referee was right there. So that was looking for the home run ball there, and now we're going to be looking at 3rd and 6 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, this will be a big 3rd down here. We want to keep this drive going, keep the offense out on the field to give some of those players that only play defense a little bit of a breather.
And for the Randolph team that goes both ways, hopefully starts to tire them out just a little bit. So 3rd and 6, Curtis from the shotgun this time is going to bring Trent Burchanowski across the back of the backfield in motion, looking to pass again. Another home run ball, potentially. And Micah Willink lays straight out, and it goes off his fingertips. That's the 3rd pass today that has been just out past the outstretched hands of Micah once, Bryce once, and Cooper Brown one time. So we're off by about 6 inches or so.
Just a hair.
Yep. That has been the game plan today, though. We can definitely tell Coach Ty Harper thinks he can make hay passing the ball against the Randolph defensive backs. And we'd have about a 4-inch difference between 3 long plays and 3 incompletions.
Lucas Lissandro back to punt. Typically Bryce. Looks like they got to call a timeout. A little confusion there with Bryce being injured. The punter then shifts some people around on the punt team, and want to make sure we get everybody in their right spots.
Yeah, Bryce is getting some medical attention on the near sideline here. Don't know exactly what the problem is down there, but hopefully nothing too serious. But funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream broadcast is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance with offices in Panama and Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. This Wolfpack football broadcast is being underwritten in part by Necker's Company General Store. For over 100 years, Necker's Company has served Clymer with groceries, meats, deli, footwear, and gift items. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. Crotty Chevrolet in Buick is providing partial funding for the Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream. Crotty Chevrolet is located at the Y in Columbus and online at crottychevy.com. Sponsor of the player of the game, Crotty Chevy Buick. As the referees blow the ball back in play here, we have Lucas Lissandro back ready to receive the snap on the punt from about his 10-yard line. And we drag Cooper Brown across the field. Good snap, good punt, and looks to be a low-line drive that takes a CSP bounce, and that's going to really take about another 10 yards worth of bounce, and it's going to give Randolph a first down on about the 44-yard line. So for backup punter, nice job by Lucas Lissandro.
Yep, that was got a lot of roll on that, which was helpful. So Randolph's going to start at their own 45-yard line, 6:38 remaining here in the second quarter, still scoreless.
Fat Mom's Grub in Corry is an underwriter of this Wolfpack football broadcast. Fat Mom's menu includes pizzas, subs, salads, and dinners. Take out or read in. 814-964-3158. As Randolph quick to the line. Once again, Xander Hine up the middle, and he's going to get about 6 or 7 yards right over the nose tackle. And he's dragging some CSP defenders with him.
Yeah, nice start to the drive for Randolph.
And once again, just a lot of run here from Randolph as we expected, and they're not disappointing. A pretty heavy dose of Xander Hind, and when he doesn't get the ball, things don't go so well for them usually. So Randolph to the line, 2nd down and 3, 6:08 left here in the second quarter, and quarterback under center is going to hand it off this time to number 5, who is Luke Paget, and he's going to rumble ahead for a Randolph first down just past the first down marker. So that's going to be enough for a Randolph first down from their 45-yard line, heading in on the CSP Wolfpack half of the field now.
They got a little bit of a thunder and lightning aspect to their backfield. Hind is kind of your lightning. He's fast, and Paget's kind of your thunder, and he goes up the middle and gets you some yardage.
Once again, Xander Hine now up the right-hand side, bobbing and weaving his way through the CSP second line of defense. A couple linebackers and a defensive back bring him down, but not before he gains about 15 yards up the right-hand side. And once again, Xander Hine proves to be everything he's been touting. And gets through that initial line of scrimmage, and then he's fast enough. He can kind of make things work.
First attempt for the Cardinals, ball on the 30.
Randolph, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Quarterback under center, split right, 2 backs behind him. Hand off to the up back. Once again, Paget with about 4 tough yards up the middle, and that's going to be number 22, Drake DiDomenico on the tackle on that one, but not before Randolph makes about 4 yards.
Yeah, we got to start. We're getting beat at the line of scrimmage here a little bit, and opening up some holes. So hopefully we can get that corrected and stop this drive. This is a nice little drive that Randolph's got going.
Under 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Hand off to Xander Hine up the middle. Met really hard by number 4. Owen White met him in the hole, and Owen did a nice job of bringing him down. That was a hard hit.
Really nice tackle by Owen. It was a little bit of an open field tackle, and did proper technique and made a really nice tackle.
Unfortunately, not before Xander gains about 6 yards up the right-hand side, so it's another Randolph first down. 1st down and 10 from the CSP 19-yard line. Paget with that's another pitch. I thought they handed it to Paget. That's pretty good defense or pretty good offense, but they actually kept it on a quarterback option. And once again, they fumbled it over there on that far sideline.
Yeah, that was really good play, really good defense against the option. Everybody had their man, and when everybody gets their guy, the option can be stopped and can be difficult to run. And CSP did a really nice job there.
Randolph once again right to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback under center with a handoff to Xander Hind up the right-hand side this time. Working his way through 5 or 6 CSP defenders and ultimately ended up being brought down by, once again, Owen White. But Lucas Lissandro and it looks like maybe Gabe Roth were also in on that tackle. So 3:39 left here. 3rd down and 2 from about the 10-yard line. Randolph trying to split things out a little bit. They got a wide receiver on both sides, power eye behind the quarterback, and it's going to be a handoff to the up back this time, and he has not down yet. We got about 10 guys kind of scrimmaging right from there, and eventually the pile makes its way to the ground, and Coach Ty Harper wants to get a timeout here, probably to preserve some of this clock. With 3:17 left here in the second quarter, Randolph's going to be 2nd down and goal from about the 6-yard line.
A little bit of a rugby play there. They got Paget inside to get the short yardage, and then those big horses up front just continued to push and got them the first down.
So Allegheny Power Equipment, Route 426, east of Corry, is an underwriter of this Corry Federal Credit Union sports team. Allegheny Power Equipment has worked with the small engine industry with parts and service for decades. 814-664-9291 is the phone number. Channel 98.9 thanks Allegheny Power Equipment for their support. This Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream is being supported in part by Woods Auto Parts, Napa, and Woods Power Sports in Sherman. Along with auto parts for most vehicles, Woods offers parts and service for off-road, ATV, and motorcycles. Channel 98 thanks Woods, Napa, and Power Sports for their support. And
This Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream has been provided by Lictus Oil and Propane, Lictus Auto Service, and Climber Hardware and Home Center. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane, Lictus Auto Service, and Climber Hardware and Home Center for their support. So we got 3:17 left here, Kyle. This is the farthest that Randolph has been able to make it inside the CSP side of the field. We got second and goal from about the 6-yard line. And, first?
Yeah, I think it's first and
First
goal.
and goal from the 6.
Scoreless game here, but Randolph threatening, and this is the deepest anybody's been in each other's territory.
And they try to run Xander Hind up the middle, and we're going to have a stoppage, but we're also going to have a flag, and that flag coming from the umpire, so that usually is in the vicinity of offensive holding. I guess we'll see what the call is here. 4-person officiating crew. We've got a face mask on the CSP Wolfpack, so that's going to probably give them one of those half the distance to the goal, and remains first down. Once again, Bryce Hinsdale is still getting treatment on the CSP sideline. I think that's been our only injury so far, and we'll try and get an update on what's going on with him at the half. 3:14, 3:13 now as the clock is brought into play, and the officials scrimmage Randolph here at the 6-yard line, first and goal. Power eye look from Randolph once again. Xander Hind is the deep back. And they give it to Xander, and he runs right into the heart of the CSP defense. Nice job there by Justin Massing, amongst others. But it's going to be a second down and goal from about the 1 is where we're going to scrimmage that.
Yeah, really nice job by Justin. Really nice job by number 78, Ashton Munson, plugging that hole. There was really no place for Xander Hind to go.
So Randolph once again with splits right and left, power eye look, quarterback under center. Xander Hind is the deep back, and they're giving it to Xander, and touchdown off the right-hand side of the Randolph side of the offense. And he didn't get it by much, but he only needed about a yard, and that's about what he got. So that's going to be the first score of the game today. Randolph Cardinal 6, CSP 0. 2:19 left here in the first quarter. And now we're going to try for the extra point attempt. CSP defense actually did stiffen quite a bit when they got inside the 20 down there, but, they had a couple plays where they only allowed Randolph 1 or 2 yards, but, they just kept chipping away and chipping away.
Yep, that's what that running offense will do, and now there's only 2:19 remaining in the half.
And Micah Willink on the tackle on the right-hand side of the quarterback sneak, who actually does make his way over the end zone. So that's going to be a 2-point conversion. So it's going to be Randolph 8, CSP 0, 2:19 left here in the first quarter. And we'll see what the CSP Wolfpack can do to kind of answer the call here, Kyle.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a gut check time for that offense, and we'll see if we can get some. See if we can get some yardage here.
Support for CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play on the Channel 98.9 sports stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, and 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play. As the sun makes an appearance here and brightens up the whole day, hopefully that will wake up the CSP offense as they get ready to accept the kickoff from Randolph. And there's going to be a kick received by the up back, and that looks to be Owen White, possibly, up to the 30-yard line.
Trent Burchanowski.
That was Trent. Okay.
That was quite a collision they had.
Yeah, Trent caught that ball. He had a nice kickoff. That ball was in the air for quite a while, and he got it and just put his head down and just got what he could get. And he got about 15 pretty hard, tough yards there, and a big collision at the 30-yard line. So the CSP Wolfpack's going to come to the line. 2:12 left here in the second quarter, down 8-0 from the 30-yard line. 2 split left, 1 split right. Curtis Olson quarterbacking from the shotgun and getting ready to receive the snap. Going to be a fake to the first back, and it's going to be a throw down the left-hand side. And that's actually going to be picked off by number 87 for Randolph, Jaden Huntington. That ball kind of hung in the air just a little bit, and Jaden Huntington coming over from his linebacking position and came underneath that ball and picked it off.
Yeah, I know the CSP coaching staff is pretty upset on a no pass interference call there.
There was a lot of
contact.
There looked to be a lot of contact from where I was standing too. You're right.
But no flag, and so it's Randolph football at midfield here. 2:04 remaining in the second quarter. 8-0 Randolph.
Right at midfield, Randolph's going to make their way to the line of scrimmage. Once again, the power eye look from Randolph, and they got a split right, split left, 2 backs in the backfield, quarterback under center. Going to receive the snap, and he's going to fumble it. And that's going to be a second down now. A little trouble on the quarterback center exchange there. Looks like the quarterback was able to dive back in and get possession return for him. Carson Conley is the quarterback for the Randolph football team. So we're going to be second down from about the 49.5-yard line. That would have been pretty fortuitous.
Yes, it would have been. Instead, it makes it second and long for Randolph here at midfield.
Minute 36 left in this first quarter from midfield, and Randolph slows it down just a little bit. They're probably going to be happy to try and take this thing to the house. But having said that, now they're looking to pass the ball, and the quarterback tries to make a play, and he slips on the center field, and he's going to be down after about a 4-yard gain. He didn't have any receivers open down the field, so he tried to duck and run, and got taken down by Gabe Roth there. And now we're going to have a Randolph timeout.
Yeah, again, not something Randolph typically likes to do, but they will sprinkle in the pass at opportune times, which Coach Brown thought that was at the time, and just didn't find anybody open.
Funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast comes in part from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off and on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. And underwriting for this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream coverage of CSP football is provided by Triple E Manufacturing. Triple E Manufacturing offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery and printing services. Triple E Manufacturing of Sherman, online at tripleemanufacturing.com. So as we come back here with a minute 13 left in the second quarter, Randolph ball is going to be 3rd and 5 from about the 45-yard line of the Wolfpack. And the CSP defense makes its way onto the field. And we'll see if we can't get this thing back here with maybe a few seconds left in the second quarter clock. Randolph up on the line of scrimmage. Split left, power eye back. Conley under center, and going to have the snap and a handoff. Fake handoff, is going to look to throw the ball. And that's going to be long and over the head of number 3, Josh Bush.
Little surprised they threw the ball there, Brian. Third and was second. And, 3rd and 6. And I thought maybe they're in 2-down territory. I thought maybe they'd try to get a chunk on 3rd down and then another chunk on 4th. But looks like they're now going to punt and force CSP to go the length of the field if they want to tie this thing up.
Yeah, I guess I question that play call just a little bit. I mean, I don't question them trying to catch us off guard, but not only did they have the incompletion, but they had a clock stoppage now too. And now they're forced to punt at 4th and 5, and Ty Harper is going to take his 3rd and final timeout of the first half here. Try and set up the return.
Yeah, a little surprised about that. Feels like a little bit of a wasted timeout, but it looks like maybe there was a personnel issue. We may not have had everybody we wanted on the field. So I think CSP takes their their final timeout, or at least their second.
I think it's the third.
Third timeout.
I believe it was the third.
They'll be out of timeouts when they get the ball here at the end of the first half. 1:07 remaining. Randolph 8, CSP 0.
Both teams kind of make their way back to the line of scrimmage, and Randolph still looks to be in punt formation here. And is that their quarterback back there that's actually doing the punting for them? It kind of looks like his body build. I can't see a number from over here, but it looks like it could be him. And the punt is away and promptly caught and downed by Trent Burchanowski. An immediate tackle made by number 1, Owen Nelson from Randolph. So the transfer of possession, and that's going to leave the Wolfpack with 1 minute and 1 second left here in the second quarter, and they're going to start their drive from about the 17-yard line. And we'll see what we got here. It's kind of a tall task for a high school team to run 82 yards, a minute to play with no timeouts, but we'll see.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I would say is CSP, they're, whereas Randolph, it's throwing is a little bit unique to them. CSP is something that they do on a regular basis. We've seen a significant passing offense here in the first half.
Curtis Olson under center. We got a power eye backfield. Now we got 4 backs in the backfield and another timeout, which we don't have, I don't think. And I think that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. They're going to get CSP on a delay of game because they didn't have any timeouts left. So there was confusion in the offense, and Curtis Olson and Ty Harper are trying to figure it out here on the sideline. So minute 1 left, and we're counting players on the field, see if we have 11. Bryce Hinsdale, one of the wide receivers for the team, is not in there currently. So that's probably causing some of the consternation here, a little bit of indecision on the offense. So we got 3 split right, and now we're running Justin Massing off the field. And, yeah, we got a little bit of indecision here, and we got a lot of miscommunication. That's another 5-yard penalty for the CSP Wolfpack, and just like that, we've gone backwards 10 yards with 3 seconds gone off the clock.
Yeah, this is very uncharacteristic of CSP. Typically do not see mental errors or mental errors to this degree from this team, but a little bit. This is a very inexperienced team. I know they have 11 seniors, but the seniors have not had a lot of playing time. And
that's going to be Trent Burchanowski with a handoff from the CSP quarterback Curtis Olson. That's going to be basically ahead for no gain. It's going to be second down and 20 from about the 8-yard line.
So you've got a lot of inexperienced kids out there playing, and really this is the first time that they've been down all year. So maybe a little bit rattled, but again, it's only Randolph 8, CSP 0 as the clock here runs out for the first half.
And the CSP team actually did huddle that time to try and burn some of that clock away. And snap given to Curtis Olson, handoff to Trent Burchanowski in the backfield, and he makes his way up for about 2 yards off the left-hand side. And that is going to bring an end to the first quarter.
First half.
First half.
Yeah.
So as the clock runs out and turns to triple zeros, it's going to be Randolph 8, CSP 0 at the end of a very fast-moving first half. CSP with a little bit of indecision on the last couple plays, but other than that, it's been a pretty well-played game by both teams, kind of like we expected. A lot of passing from the CSP offense and a lot of running from the Randolph offense. So
yeah, not a lot of surprises here, and right now Randolph is executing what they want to do just a hair better than what CSP wants to do, and I would expect very similar offenses in the second half. Hopefully, CSP can connect on some of those long passes that they've just missed in the first half.
Yeah, we're just, a couple plays here or there, a couple inches on some of those passes from really kind of having a really nice first half. So we'll see what Coach Harper and the other coaches and the rest of the team has to come back to in the second half, and we're going to break away here. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is brought to you by Lictus Oil and Propane, Triple E Manufacturing, Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering, Crouch's Garage, First Place Auto Glass, Krager Racing Engines, and Mike's Machine, Leisure Time Power Sports of Quarry, U-Tag's Body Shop, Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales, Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant, Finn's Auto Sales, Appleby Motorsports, J. Edwards Insurance, Necker's Company General Store, Crotty Chevrolet and Buick, Fat Mon's Grub, Allegheny Power Equipment, Woods Auto Parts Napa and Woods Power Sports, and the Corry Federal Credit Union. Stay tuned, the Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show is coming up shortly.
Support for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of CSP football is provided in part by Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering in Clymer. Mosier's installs carpeting, vinyl, and laminate flooring, as well as tile. Channel 98.9 thanks Mosier's Main Street in Clymer for their support.
Funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union coverage of CSP football is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. The owner of Glass Tech, Robert Leonard from Panama, installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass for their support. Contact them at 716-450-0847 or on Facebook.
This Wolfpack broadcast is being underwritten in part by Necker's Company General Store. For over 100 years, Necker's Company has served Clymer with groceries, meats, deli, footwear, and gift items. Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support.
This Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream broadcast is supported in part by Krager Racing Engines and Mike's Machine in Clymer. Krager Racing Engines provides performance machining and assembly for race teams nationwide. Best wishes to the Wolfpack from Krager Racing Engines.
Crouch's Garage, 2 East Main Street in Panama, underwrites this Corry Federal Credit Union broadcast of CSP football on Channel 98.9. Crouch's offers automotive service, state inspection, and used cars, too. Channel 98.9 thanks Crouch's Garage in Panama for their support.
Fat Mon's Grub in Corry is an underwriter of this Wolfpack broadcast. Fat Mon's menu includes pizzas, subs, salads, and dinners. Take out or eat in. 814-964-3158. Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Fat Mon's Grub for their support.
Underwriting for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of CSP football is also provided by Triple E Manufacturing. Triple E Manufacturing offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. Triple E Manufacturing of Sherman online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
We're always here for you. At Corry Federal Credit Union, we are your member-owned local financial institution with your best interest always in mind. Banking might look a little different these days, but how we serve our members and care about our community remains unchanged. Stop by any of our convenient locations to experience the credit union difference at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, or always online at www.corryfcu.org. Become a member with us in 2021 to enjoy all the benefits a credit union has to offer. All you need to do is live, work, worship, volunteer, or go to school within 25 miles of the city of Corry, and $5 to establish your account. That's it. Start feeling like you belong. Become a member at Corry Federal Credit Union, your credit union. CFCU federally insured by NCUA.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is brought to you by Lictus Oil and Propane, Triple E Manufacturing, Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering, Crouch's Garage, First Place Auto Glass, Krager Racing Engines, and Mike's Machine, Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry, U-Tag's Body Shop, Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales, Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant, Finn's Auto Sales, Appleby Motorsports, J. Edwards Insurance, Necker's Company General Store, Crotty Chevrolet and Buick, Fat Mon's Grub, Allegheny Power Equipment, Woods Auto Parts Napa and Woods Power Sports, and the Corry Federal Credit Union. Stay tuned, the Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show is coming up shortly.
This Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is being made possible with funding from Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry. For over 50 years, Leisure Time has offered motorcycles, dirt bikes, side-by-sides, snowmobiles, and agricultural equipment. We thank Leisure Time Power Sports in Corry and Bradford for their support.
Dale and Cindy Appleby at Appleby Motorsports are supporters of the Wolfpack and the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Appleby Motorsports, located in North Clymer, offers racing accessories and chassis setup for race teams in the region. We thank Appleby Motorsports for their support.
U-Tag's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this production of CSP Football on the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Along with collision repair and refinishing, U-Tags offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry, U-Tag's Body Shop.
This Wolfpack broadcast on the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and by Becky's Bakery, 104 East Main Street in Sherman, featuring Amish-style baked goods, 716-234-4002, or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook. Channel 98.9. Thanks, Arlene's Dutch Kitchen, for their support.
When someone thinks of Lictus Oil and Propane, they most likely think of gasoline. Lictus Oil and Propane offers bulk quantities of motor oils, hydraulic fluids, and lubricants. Lictus serves our customers in 3 states with propane and heating oil. Online at lictusoilandpropane.com. Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is grateful for support from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer.
This Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is being supported in part by Woods Auto Parts Napa and Woods Power Sports in Sherman. Along with auto parts for most vehicles, Woods offers parts and service for off-road, ATV, and motorcycles. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Woods Napa and Power Sports for their support.
Joel Cook and the team at Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales supports this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast. Offering pre-owned cars and trucks in New York and Pennsylvania, Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales is on Route 6 in Corry or online at corrycars.com. Go Wolfpack from Corry Pre-Owned Auto.
Allegheny Power Equipment, Route 426 east of Corry, is an underwriter of this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Allegheny Power Equipment has worked with the small engine industry with parts and service for decades. 814-664-9291. The Channel 98 Sports Stream thanks Allegheny Power Equipment for their support.
This Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream coverage of Wolfpack football is brought to you in part by Pat Finnerty at Finn's Auto Sales on the Niobe Road in Panama. Finn specializes in Subaru service and offers used cars as well. Home of 1J Racing. Channel 98.9 thanks Finn's Auto Sales for their support.
Funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices in Panama and Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com.
Crotty Chevrolet and Buick is providing partial funding for the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Crotty Chevrolet is located at the Y in Columbus and online at crottychevy.com. Sponsor of the player of the game, Crotty Chevrolet Buick.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is brought to you by Lictus Oil and Propane, Triple E Manufacturing, Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering, Crouch's Garage, First Place Auto Glass, Krager Racing Engines, and Mike's Machine, Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry, U-Tag's Body Shop, Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales, Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant, Finn's Auto Sales, Appleby Motorsports, J. Edwards Insurance, Necker's Company General Store, Crotty Chevrolet and Buick, Fat Mon's Grub, Allegheny Power Equipment, Woods Auto Parts Napa and Woods Power Sports, and the Corry Federal Credit Union. And now it's time for the Corry Federal Credit Union Halftime Show on the Channel 98.9 sports stream at channel989.org.
Okay, and we're back at halftime at Jack Haney Field in Panama, New York, and a beautiful afternoon for a football game. And everything's beautiful except the score here at the half. It's going to be 8 for Randolph and 0 for the CSP Wolfpack in a very fast-moving first half. Both teams pretty much going right according to script, and Randolph just running and running and running, and CSP trying to mix it up just a little bit with some success. But ultimately, when it was all said and done, Randolph scored with about 3 minutes to go in that first half, and that's where we're at, 8-0.
Yeah, CSP really, part of the issue with CSP in the first half is they just haven't been able to establish the run game well enough that allows the passing game to open up, and as a result, we're not making a lot of yardage through either one. And ideally, we in the second half here we maybe establish the run a little bit, and that will definitely open up the pass, because the pass as you watch the film for Randolph, the pass they are susceptible to the pass. They've got a lot of young kids playing corner and safety that are a little bit on the shorter side, and so there's an opportunity there for CSP in the passing game. But you've got to be able to establish that run, and which will open up the pass. But sun's coming out here in Panama. It's beautiful Saturday. I guess it's officially fall. And there's
that's right.
Chicken barbecue in the air, and
it smells pretty good, by the way.
It does smell very good, and but yeah, we've got about a couple minutes here left in halftime, and I want to do a shout out to Panama, Lester and Wyona Weaver. For those in the Panama area that know Lester and Wyona, Lester's a big supporter of Panama athletics, and has been for several years, and they moved down to Texas to be closer to their family, and this week they celebrated their 71st wedding anniversary. So congratulations to Lester and Wyona. We know that they're watching and listening to us in Texas, and I'm sure Lester's there with his CSP or Panama gear on, and just pacing in the living room. So congratulations to Lester and Wyona on 71 years of marriage.
Absolutely, congratulations. This CSP Sports Stream, sponsored by the Corry Federal Credit Union, allows a lot of people that may not be able to make it to the game for one reason or another to listen in, and we're doing our best to try and paint the picture for everybody. And for those of you who don't have access, Facebook Live has the audio and the video, so we try to keep up with that the best we can too. So plenty of options available for people to catch your favorite CSP Wolfpack team, player, coach, whatever it may be. So
we did get an injury update on Bryce Hinsdale at halftime. My guess is, based on what I saw, he will not be back here in the second half. He made that touchdown-saving tackle. In the meantime, got a kid's cleat up underneath his chin, and half of his face is pretty screwed up, and so
his mother's not going to be too happy with that.
No, but she'll get over it, and hopefully he recoups this week, and he'll be back in action. Be back in action next week, but.
So support for CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play on the Channel 98.9 sports stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, and 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, as well as online at www.corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks to Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their continuing support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play. And funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream broadcast comes in part from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agricultural, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off and on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. And underwriting for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of CSP football is provided by Triple E Manufacturing. Triple E Manufacturing offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. Triple E Manufacturing of Sherman, online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Senior day here in Panama. Congratulations to you, Brian, as Micah is a senior this year. Hard to believe. I remember when Micah was born, and I guess we're old. We're officially old. But.
Yeah, geez. Fast forward this thing a year, and we're empty nesters. Talk about a little scary.
Yeah.
So, like many parents throughout southwestern New York, we've lived vicariously through our kids for the last basically 19 years. So we'll see. It'll be kind of different not having a Willink out on the field next year to cheer and root for, and so it'll be a little different. But we're certainly looking to take advantage of what we have this year, and it's certainly been a fun ride so far, and a lot of positives. And even though we're kind of upside down here a little bit to start the half, we're down 8-0 versus a pretty tough Randolph team. Certainly still within reach.
Yeah, and this is where you would expect those 11 seniors to kind of step up and take charge here in the second half as they're down and need to fight back. And we've got great leadership in Micah and Curtis Olson. Kyle Ryan, Lucas Lissandro, a bunch of seniors, and you sprinkle in a strong voice and Gabe Roth, who's a leader on the team, and those are the guys that are going to have to step up and try to fight their way back here. But we need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and defense needs to to play the way they did in the first half. I think if you would have asked Coach Harper at the beginning of the game, would you take holding Randolph to 8 points at halftime? I think he would absolutely take that. We just haven't been able to do anything on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about that at the half. This thing is really, it's scripted just like what we thought it was going to be. 8-0. I think Coach Harper would have taken the 8 for sure, but the 0 that's a little concerning. But I give Coach Harper a lot of credit. He hasn't been in this position a whole lot over the years, the last 4 years particularly. We've usually been on the top side of these things. And when we have kind of been behind or had a little adversity thrown at us, he does a pretty good job of getting guys settled back down and come up with a game plan. It's all right. Maybe that didn't work quite the way we wanted in the first half. We're going to switch this. And, the ultimate chess game here is the game of football. So we'll see what kind of moves were made at the half. And we're looking forward to see what we're going to have as the CSP Wolfpack kickoff team, because we received the first half kickoff Now we're going to kick off to them, and Gabe Roth is looking to be who's going to be kicking off for us. So the clock is set. Teams are set. The referee has handed the ball to Gabe at the 40-yard line, kicking from his right to the radial dial left. So we're back the way we were in the first quarter, kind of into that breeze, which, you know, at the upper levels, it's blowing a little harder than it is on the field, so it's not terrible here. Kickoff is away. It's going to hit the ground at about the 30-yard line. The Randolph player looks at it and promptly jumped on it. That was Xander Hine. I'm surprised he let that actually hit the ground twice before he jumped on it. CSP Wolfpack was right there for the tackle. Amongst the players on the team that were on that tackle were number 55, Landon Moore, and I believe number 6, Trenton Phelps.
Yeah, that got a little hairy there. The offensive player receiving that kick.
Xander Hine, you would have thought he would have been
pretty nonchalant about
that's a free ball.
Getting on that, and that is, as you said, a free ball for anybody.
So Randolph's to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback is under center. Split right, split left, power I. Kind of tough sledding.
We have Dylan Michael is out on the field playing corner, replacing Bryce at that left cornerback spot. Dylan is a 6 foot, 150-pound junior.
Randolph once again to the line of scrimmage. Another bottled up play there. That one's going to be bottled up by Trayvon Copta. And big Ashton Munson was also in on that tackle. And that's going to actually go for a gain of 0. So we're talking third down and about 7 from the Randolph 28-yard line. Big play, big couple plays by our frontline defenders here. I think Coach Payne and Coach Harper had some words of advice for them at the half.
Yeah, I'm sure that they did.
All right, now another running play for Xander Hine, and he's going to be bottled up by Drake DiDomenico after a short gain off the right-hand side, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 5. And just like that, that's a really good offensive and defensive series. Good defensive stop for the CSP Wolfpack.
Yeah, it just shows how much Randolph believes in their running game. Third and 8, and run an off tackle play, and unfortunately for them, it didn't get the first down.
Good snap, punt on the left-hand side. Looks like Trent Burchanowski is going to let that one run out of bounds, and it's going to be CSP Wolfpack ball at about the 36-yard line. So pretty decent field position to start their first series of the second half. CSP Wolfpack currently trailing the Randolph Cardinals 8-0 with 10:09 left here in the third quarter. So as the CSP offense makes its way to the field, they are going to huddle, actually, which is something we haven't seen in the first half much. So we don't know if that's going to be something.
This might be the only time we see it in the drive. As they start the drive, it'll
likely revert to.
My guess is
calling at the line.
Yeah, revert back to the no huddle.
Referees get the game ball in play and send the CSP game boy off to the side of the field. Who's that? Memphis Copta?
I believe so.
Yep. Okay, so Curtis from the shotgun trips left. So this is the first time we've seen this here today. So a little look to the offense. Curtis back to throw. Xander Hine from his outside linebacker position is going to sack Curtis Olson for about a 10-yard loss. Came unblocked off his left defensive end position. And Curtis goes down. And everybody's back up, but we're going to be looking at a 2nd down and 20 after a 10-yard loss on the quarterback sack.
Yeah, he's a good enough player when he's blocked. He's really good when he's not blocked, and that was what happened there. A little miscommunication on the offensive line or in the backfield, and Xander Hine came in unblocked for the sack.
So CSP Wolfpack to the line, 2nd and 20. Curtis Olson from the shotgun this time. Splits left and right. And we're going to have a stoppage of play here. Once again, Coach Ty Harper with the timeout. 8:23 left here. And CSP Wolfpack with a timeout on offense.
We are really
we're out
of sorts here. We are definitely out of sorts. I don't know, using a timeout with only
3 minutes in.
Less than 3-4 minutes into the game. So, but got a second and long. I want to make sure, particularly, a little bit deeper in our own end. We don't want to turn the ball over here. So, want to make sure that both the skill position players and the line are on the same page.
And support for the Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of CSP football is provided by Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering. Mosier's installs carpeting, vinyl, and laminate flooring, as well as tile. Mosier's, Main Street and Clymer. And Crouch's Garage from 2 East Main Street in Panama underwrites the Corry Federal Credit Union coverage of the CSP football on channel 98.9. Crouch's offers automotive service, state inspection, and used cars too. We thank Crouch's Garage for their support. And funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union coverage of CSP football is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech Robert Leonard from Panama installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook. So the CSP offense brings Gabe Roth across the backside of the infield. Curtis Olson with a deep look. Micah Willink with a catch from his sitting position, about a 25-yard pass play. Micah had slipped down to the turf and caught that ball literally with his butt on the ground.
Yeah, that was a great catch by Micah, and I'm a little concerned, Brian, that I didn't move this camera fast enough and didn't get it on camera, but it was a great catch and good start to the series here, 1st and 10.
1st and 10, just past the 50-yard line. CSP Wolfpack is driving. We're going to bring Gabe Roth from his outside position across the middle, and there's going to be 3 or 4 flags thrown. I think they're going to get Gabe for maybe encroaching across that line of scrimmage before he should have. Looks like maybe an illegal procedure. But we'll wait to see what the official call is. Multiple officials meeting. Yep, they're going to get us on a false start. Looked to me, and I don't know if this is what happened, but Gabe started as his wide receiver and went to go in motion, and he kind of worked his way back toward the line of scrimmage, maybe a little too quick. I thought,
yeah, and I didn't see where Gabe lined up, but if he was up on the line of scrimmage when he lined up, he's unable to go in motion. So that very well could have been the issue, but either way, it's now 1st and 15 for CSP.
I think what he did is he was up on the line and he took a step back, which made him a back, which then he could, but instead of taking that parallel position to the line of scrimmage, he kind of swept out around and tried to get the momentum going as the snap was taking place, and I think that's what they got him on. They about got us on that last week, but didn't call it. So CSP to the line, wide left, 2, wide left, right, both 2 wide receivers. Curtis Olson from the shotgun, Cooper Brown with a catch, and quick tackle by Randolph, number 87. That's their stalwart, Jaden Huntington, on the tackle with basically 6-yard gain. So we're going to be looking at 2nd down and 11 from just about the 50-yard line. CSP all looking at their wristbands as they come to the line of scrimmage.
That's a play I don't mind, Brian. A lot of our passes have been trying to go deep. Maybe we need to shorten these up and do some curl routes and out routes. Nothing there on that carry, though.
Yeah, and that's Gabe Roth tried to make a little hay up the middle, and once again met at the line of scrimmage by Jaden Huntington. He's their big defensive star for Randolph, and he's making his presence known here in this second half for sure. So that's going to leave the CSP Wolfpack with a 3rd down and 12 right at about the 50-yard line. And they're going to be at the line of scrimmage, and looks like Curtis Olson is going to be under center this time. Wide left, wide right, 2 backs behind him. Rolling out to the right, Curtis. Micah Willink open on the sideline with a nice catch. Pushed out of bounds by the defender from Randolph, number 3, but we got a flag on the field from the far official. And we'll see what the call is going to be here. But it was a nice catch and
design
throw.
Play. Yeah, nice design play. Got Curtis out. Got him out of the pocket on the move so he could see the field a little bit better. And Micah was there for a nice catch, but it's going to come back. A legal man downfield.
Man, you don't see that very often in high school.
Do not see that very often.
So that's going to nullify a nice throw and catch from Curtis to Micah, and that's going to make it 3rd down and about 16 or so from about the 46-yard line. UTEG's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this production of CSP football on the Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream. Along with collision repair and refinishing, UTEG's offers frame straightening services, 633 East Smith Street in Corry, UTEG's Body Shop. As the CSP Wolfpack offense comes to the line, it's going to be a repeat of the third down. And it's going to be about third down and 16 from about the 45-yard line as the officials make sure everything is all set to go here. And
7:42 here left in the third quarter. Randolph 8, CSP 0.
Curtis under center, looking to roll right again, and another pass play. He's going to have Cooper Brown wide open down the sideline, and Cooper with a nice move down the sideline with a nice over-the-shoulder catch. And he had beat his defensive back by about 5 yards, and then they just really had a nice pass and catch right there, Kyle.
Yeah, really great throw by Curtis, and maybe even a better catch over the shoulder by Cooper Brown. That's the big play that we lacked in the first half. So hopefully this gives them some momentum to keep moving here.
Splits right. We're going to give a pitch to Gabe Roth around the right-hand side. Gabe's going to look to cut it upfield, but the defensive pursuit from Randolph's going to negate that to about a 2-yard gain. So we're going to be second down and 8 from about the 28-yard line. CSP sprinkling in that run along with some passes, so trying to keep that Randolph defense off balance.
So we're on the far right hash here. I would not be shocked at all if Coach Harper calls a play to the field side here, where to the wide side.
Pass play, Curtis under old center. He's looking to pass. He's got a man open. Looks like pass was defended by number 87. A little extracurricular going on over in front of the Randolph bench. I think that was Cooper Brown. No, that was Lucas Lysandro. That pass was defended in front of Lucas, and he ended up on the track by the time he was all done over there. So getting a little chippy as we work our way through the third period here with 6:50 left in the third quarter. Once again, Randolph 8, CSP 0, third down and 9 from the Wolfpack 29-yard line.
I've got to believe this is two-down territory, so you do not need to get the entire first down here. Want to get a good chunk and set yourself up for a manageable fourth down play.
Curtis from the shotgun, looking to pass again. Hits Cooper Brown across the middle after a double pump shotgun. Cooper made his way away from his defender, first cut outside, then cut back inside, and Curtis with the nice completion after double pumping that. And got enough zing on that ball. Curtis, pretty big kid, 6 foot 185, with that really strong right arm of his. He was able to zip it right in there, even though he was kind of throwing off his back foot.
So now this sets up a 4th and 4, manageable down and distance for CSP. We'll see what they do.
Curtis from the shotgun, getting ready to receive the snap, and here we are. We got an offensive penalty again. I think our line potentially moved again there, but we'll wait for the official call. We're going to get Randolph actually being in the neutral zone apparently. So that's going to be a free first down because we were looking at about 4th and 4. So that's going to give us enough yardage via the penalty to get the first down. So now we're looking at 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line, and the drive continues here, Kyle.
Yeah, that was a big play. That was going to be a tough 4th down for us. Randolph jumped off sides. Now we get a fresh set of downs. And this may be the deepest we've been in the Randolph territory all game.
Curtis from the shotgun, once again back, looking to throw. We got a defensive interception in the end zone. He was looking for Micah Willink, and now the defender, number 87 again, Jaden Huntington, is making his presence felt, and he picks the ball off in the end zone and runs it back out of the end zone about 12 yards. So there was 2 defenders over there, and the ball was kind of up for grabs, and Huntington came over and kind of took it away and grabbed it out of thin air and ran it back out to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, that might be one Curtis would want back for sure. Micah was pretty well covered and tried to force it in there, and unfortunately got intercepted. So 6:55 here left in the third quarter, 8-0 Randolph.
And they give it to their up back, who this time was number 5, Padgett again, and he gets about 2 yards on their first scrimmage of this particular series, so it's going to lead us to about 2nd down and about 9.
And if you're a CSP fan, you'd really like to hold them here, force a punt, get that offense right back out on the field, and with what could be manageable field position. The last thing that CSP wants right now is a long, sustained drive by Randolph.
We'd take a fumble recovery. They've had the ball on the ground a couple times today and haven't been able to convert. So that's going to be Xander Hind off the left-hand side. And once again, CSP defense strings it out again. And no gain on that, but once again, the yellow flag is in the air. And we'll wait to see what the call is here. Justin Massing was tangled up with one of the offensive players from Randolph, and we'll see if maybe that was one of the causes of the problem. Randolph players are clapping, and the CSP players are backing up. So it looks like maybe
a personal foul on CSP.
Yep.
That was away from the ball, so I don't know. I don't know what took place there, but
dead ball unsportsmanlike. High school, it's not. They don't name the player. It's just a team foul. So going to be I believe, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And referee Scott Van Stee is going to go over and figure out where the spot is and where the ball needs to be put in place. But this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is supported in part by Krieger Racing Engines and Mike's Machine and Climber. Krieger Racing Engines provides performance machining and assembly for race teams nationwide. Best wishes to the Wolfpack from Krieger Racing. And this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is being made possible with funding from Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry. For over 50 years, Leisure Time has offered motorcycles, dirt bikes, side-by-side snowmobiles, and agricultural equipment. We thank Leisure Time Power Sports in Corry and Bradford for their support as Randolph comes to the line. Quick snap, quarterback keeper, and that's going to be held to about a 2-yard gain, so it's going to be from about the 32-yard line, so we're going to call it 2nd and 8. Actually, they gave him forward progress of 1 yard.
Nice play by Lucas Sandro from the backside. He caught the runner quarterback on the option play from behind, setting up 2nd and 9.
Well, you hate to kind of jinx this, but we've actually kind of bottled up their running game here in the second half so far. Some defensive adjustments, and they've had a couple of 1 or 2 yard penalty or plays, but the penalty's been their biggest offensive help. So once again, a little misdirection play. Number 3, Bush for Randolph is going to be tackled in the backfield. CSP Wolfpack wasn't surprised a bit. Late flag, though, and the referees are getting the hankies out this afternoon in the second half. Oh, we're going to have an ejection. I'm not sure what the problem was in the backfield there, but it looks like the referee we made a nice defensive, basically it was a sack in the backfield. He could have taken the handoff, but the umpiring crew is determined that one of the CSP Wolfpack players apparently impacted one of the helmets of the Randolph player, and that player has now been ejected.
Yeah, it's targeting. You see this a lot on Saturday afternoons on college football. You see it very little in high school. It's really to protect. It's really to protect both players, to player safety, and it looks as though somebody from CSP.
54, John Watson.
Could be John Watson.
And that one's going to hurt a little bit. John's been playing really well here, and I don't know exactly what transpired there, but. They had him pretty well bottled up. John did a nice job of bottling him up in the backfield. I'm not sure what happened after that play was over with. I couldn't see anything. But anyway, here we go. We're going to give Randolph a first down, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. And once again, the penalty flags have been Randolph's biggest offensive play call this second half so far.
They're good enough on their own. We just we cannot help them with penalties, and we've seen that so far.
All right, and a run out to the right-hand side, and that's going to be bobbled up by Trayvon Austin from his defensive end position. Met the running back as he tried to make his way around the outside tackle, and Trayvon just held his ground and held the running back to a gain of about 1 yard. Excellent form tackle by Trayvon right there as coming in from his left defensive end position. So we're 2nd and 8 from the 43-yard line, 3:34 to go here in the third quarter. Randolph with the football, driving from the left to the right. Quarterback under center, getting ready to take the snap. CSP Wolfpack defense sets, and we're going to have a handoff up the middle to Xander Hine, and this is going to be the biggest play they've had in this half as Xander wakes his way for about an 18-yard gain, taking a handful of CSP tacklers with him. Drake DiDomenico out there, Trent Burchanowski out there, Trayvon Copta out there, but the damage had been done. He got past that first level and just kind of hit the second level, and that's what we had been doing a really good job of stopping.
Yeah, that's right. That was really their biggest. That's the first time they've been able to do that, and it's the defense has been out there a long time right now. This drive I think started after the interception inside
about the 11 or 12.
Yeah, just about the 10. So it'd be 1st and 10 here for Randolph.
About 39-yard line, quarterback under center, splits right and left, and we're going to have a penalty before the play or at the snap, which would usually indicate either movement or offsides on the defense. We're going to have a false start on Randolph. So what had been a pretty cleanly played first half has certainly not been that way the second half to this point. So it's going to be a 1st down and 15 now for the Randolph Cardinal from about the 44-yard line. And we'll see what Coach Payne's defense can come up with here.
Yeah, 1st and 15. It'll be important to stop them here for short yardage, really turn it into almost a passing situation.
Power eye look from Randolph. Quarterbacks gets it. Xander Hine, Justin Massing in the backfield, along with number 77. That's going to be Kyle Ryan. Defensive tackles, both of them, disrupted that play. That really had no chance of going anywhere. And it is getting just a little chippy out there as the umpire and the referees from both teams are having talks with both players, telling them just let the play do the talking. Let's keep the mouth shut. Once again, CSP doing a nice job of rotating in the defensive line. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 15 from the 45-yard line. Randolph quarterback from the shotgun this time. Little indecision on Randolph's team here, and Coach Brent Brown's going to take a timeout. So the miscommunication bug is hitting both teams a little bit in the second half here.
Yeah, this is good. It's a tight football game. These kids have not been in this situation the first 3 weeks, and these are the types of things that you see when you're in games like this. And so these are good learning experiences. We talked about the fact that these teams more than likely will face each other again down the road. So this will be good experience for both of them.
Yep. Joe Cook and the team at Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales supports this Corry Federal Credit Union sports team broadcast. Offering pre-owned cars and trucks in New York and Pennsylvania, Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales is on Route 6 in Corry or online at corrycars.com. Go Wolfpack from Corry Pre-Owned Auto. And this Wolfpack broadcast on the Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery, 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods. 716-234-402 or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook. As the Randolph team makes its way to the line, quarterback from the quarterback pass down the middle to number 87, and that's going to be Huntington on the offensive side this time, and that's going to be a nice 20-yard pickup for Randolph over the outstretched arms of Owen White, and that's a little bit of a mismatch. Owen comes in about 5'10", and Huntington's about 6'4".
Yeah, and that's the pass play that you see on film that they'll run after running all these running plays. They will, and that's just a tight end running up the seam. And but you're so used to watching your eyes in the backfield that it's very quick, very easy for him to slip out, and that's what happened there.
So splits left and right. Power eye look again for Randolph. Quarterback under center, and he's going to hand off this time to Padgett up the middle.
Big hit once again. Owen White coming in from his safety position, but not before number 5, Paget from Randolph, makes his way about 8 yards up the center of the CSP defense, and that's going to be close to a Randolph first down.
Yeah, it's important for CSP here to try to get a stop. Another touchdown here with the way Randolph's defense is playing, and their ability to control time of possession will make it difficult for CSP to come back.
So Randolph once again to the line of scrimmage, quarterback under center. It's going to take the snap. It's going to be another handoff up the middle to Paget, and he's going to rumble and stumble and tumble his way down to about the 1 yard line. Same plays that just ran, I think, Kyle.
Yeah,
and,
I think that's right.
Don't go away from it if it's working, and they're getting 6, 7, 8 yards of crack here. So Randolph is in business. They're first and goal from the 1 yard line with 32 seconds left here in the third quarter. CSP 0, Randolph 8, but Randolph certainly threatening. Randolph huddles. Now they break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage with about 18 seconds left. We'll see if they get this play off.
I'm going to guess this is a handoff, Brian.
Yeah. So that's once again a handoff to Paget, and they actually snuck that one off the right-hand side, and he basically goes in untouched. So that's going to be a touchdown for the Randolph team. And that's going to make the score 14-0 with 10.9 seconds left here in the third quarter. And what started out as a pretty good offensive series for the CSP with turnover, Randolph capitalizes and takes about 90 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, CSP is just, we're losing the turnover battle. We've got, we've had inopportune penalties, and that's not a recipe for success.
So Randolph, once again, they're to the line of scrimmage for their 2-point conversion attempt. Quarterback under center, and going to be a handoff. Actually, going to be a quarterback keeper around the right-hand side. That fake option play, they handed it off and pulled it right back out of the belly of Paget, and the quarterback, Carson Conley, takes it in off the right-hand side. So that's going to make the score 14-0, Randolph over CSP. 10.9 seconds left here in the third quarter. And Wolfpack with a little adversity here, Kyle.
Yeah, this is it's good for them. I'm sure if you talk to Coach Harper, he'd love to be winning the football game, but I go back to 2019, CSP undefeated. They had just come off their first state title win and made a trip to Franklinville, Ellicottville, and and got beat over there. Then kind of fought their way back and faced Franklinville, Ellicottville up at what is now Highmark Stadium, and beat Franklinville, Ellicottville up there. And so this has a little bit of a feel to it, because I'm sure Franklinville, Ellicottville will have something to say about it, but these two teams definitely will be in it right till the end when it comes to Section 6.
And the Randolph team's getting ready to kick this thing off. Late run on from the CSP Wolfpack. Donovan Schnars comes on to field one of the up-back positions. And big number 65 for Randolph puts his foot into it, kicks it, and it kind of takes a football bounce out of bounds. One of those wobbly side roll things, and goes out of bounds about the 20. But I still think the CSP Wolfpack's going to take possession at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised. Every time that kid is kicked off, it's gone out of bounds.
Yeah.
And I don't, based on the way he's kicking it and the ball, the way it's rotating, I don't think that's on purpose. I think I don't think you ever want to give a team a starting field of the 35 if you cannot have that.
So the CSP Wolfpack right on the line of scrimmage, 10.9 left here, down 14-0. Quarterback Curtis Olson in the shotgun, takes the snap, throws the ball over to Cooper Brown with a bubble screen on the left-hand sideline. Cooper working his way up through the defenders and gets pushed out of bounds with about an 8-yard gain there. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. And that's going to be a Randolph 14, CSP 0 score as we turn the clock to 12 minutes to start the fourth quarter. Support for CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play on Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, and 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, as well as online at www.corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks to Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play. Funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream broadcast comes in part from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off- and on-road diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. Underwriting for this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream coverage of CSP football is provided by Triple E Manufacturing. Triple E Manufacturing offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. Triple E Manufacturing of Sherman, online at tripleemfg.com. So as we start the fourth quarter here, Kyle, it's going to be CSP football, a little counter play up the middle, and Curtis hands it off to Gabe Roth with basically no gain. But that's going to bring us a 3rd down and 1 from about the 39-yard line. Now the CSP Wolfpack going from their left to our right. And looks like maybe certainly 2-down territory here, down 2 scores.
That counterplay has been a staple for this offense for the past 3 or 4 years, and typically gets some pretty good chunks of yardage. I think teams are starting to sniff that out a little bit, and unfortunately we didn't get anything there.
Yep. So we got 3rd and less than 1 from the 39-yard line. Curtis Olson in the shotgun, and now is moving up to take the ball from the center, actually. So now Curtis under center and calling an audible at the play, and Coach Harper is not real happy. Looked like they were trying to do some kind of an audible there or something, and I think about half the team got the call, and maybe the other half didn't.
Yeah, just a lot of mental mistakes today, and leading to timeouts that are, one would argue, even I think Coach Harper would argue, are a little bit wasted. And we'll see what we can do. The trick here is if you're going to waste a timeout like that, you want to make sure when you come out of the timeout that you've got a play that you believe in and that you trust in. And because if you don't get this 1st down, it's a double whammy. So we want to make sure if we're going to use the timeout, let's make use of it.
So we got 3rd down and less than a yard, 11:05 left here in the fourth quarter, down 16-0. CSP Wolfpack on the line. Curtis Olson under center this time. We got that power eye look again with all the receivers in tight. So looks like it's going to be Curtis Olson with a quarterback sneak. He only needed a few inches, and it looks like he's gotten that from the way that the near side official is marking the ball.
Curtis is a big kid, big strong kid, and I thought that might be what they would have just run previous to the timeout is something like that.
Yeah, just keep those sticks moving. It is certainly not a beauty contest. Just keep them moving. So 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Curtis Olson back and from his shotgun position looking to throw the ball. And he has Cooper Brown open in the middle of the field. And Cooper escapes the first 2 defenders and goes down at about the 48-yard line of the Randolph side of the field. So we make about 6 yards on that particular pass. And once again, Curtis getting really good protection up front. He's got a lot of time to throw.
Yep, that's exactly right. I'm a little surprised. When you throw a kid out for CSP for targeting, that's telling.
Gabe Roth with a run off the right-hand side, just a power run right up the side, and what has been bottled up a little earlier in today's game, now we've got a little daylight to that outside, so we'll see what that means for the CSP play callers.
Yeah, and just to finish my thought there, we had a Randolph player come in relatively late there with helmet to helmet. I have no problem calling it, but let's be consistent with it.
Splits left. Curtis from under center is looking to roll right again. He's got 4 guys out into the pass pattern, and he's got a deep ball. He's looking to hit Cooper Brown, and they are going to get that holding call. A lot of hand combat going on down the left-hand side there between Cooper Brown and the defensive back, and it looks like they're going to get Randolph with a pass interference call. And we've been kind of looking for that the whole game, and finally with 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, it looks like we're going to get the call.
Yeah, that one was pretty simple. Pretty simple call to make. He was getting held pretty much the entire way.
So we got a pass interference call on the Randolph football team, and that's going to be a spot foul, I believe. And that ball landed at about the 25-yard line, so that's where the CSP team was going to take possession of it. And it's going to be first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. And, here we are. We got a nice little drive going, Kyle. 10:04 left, down 16-0. CSP to the line, Curtis Olson under center. 2 wide right, 1 wide left, and we got a handoff up the middle, and we got a shoestring tackle by, once again, number 87, Jaden Huntington, who has been making his presence felt all over the field here today.
Yeah, really nice open field tackle there. It's probably a good thing for Randolph that he made that tackle because there was a lot of green space out there for Trent, and if he gets into open space, I like our chances of him scoring.
Yeah, Trent is, once he makes it past that first layer, he is shifty and he's fast. So 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers right, Curtis under center. Going to have a rollout to the right. Curtis looking to pass the ball. Once again, a lot of time, but not enough time as there's 2 Randolph defenders out there. Number 50 for Randolph, that's going to be actually his first play of the game, and number 79, Sterling Sky, who comes up a little gimpy after that sack. But that's going to actually take CSP back about a 12-yard loss on that play, Kyle.
Yeah, that's a drive killer there.
Yeah. They had Curtis on a rollout, so he was already a little deeper than he normally would. And the backside defenders, one initially caught him up, and he actually slipped that first tackle, but then he just turned in, and Skylar Sky, who was down on the field, was one of the ones that actually made the tackle there. So.
Yeah, the move for Curtis there, and he gets through the year and gets a little bit more experience. The move there is that when your first and second receivers are not open, there's an end on the side that you're rolling away from. There's an end over there that's unblocked, and so he's coming. And so the move would be just to throw that ball away into the crowd, make it a souvenir, and make it 3rd and manageable versus 3rd and close to 20.
So UTEG's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this production of CSP Football on the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream, along with collision repair and refinishing. UTEG's offers frame straightening services, 633 East Smith Street in Corry. UTEG's Body Shop, as number 79, Skylar Sky, looks like maybe an ankle, but as he makes his way under his own power off the Randolph sideline, he's got both hands in the air, so I think maybe he's thinking he might get back in the game, but we'll see.
8:05 left here in the fourth quarter. Randolph 16, CSP 0. Offense has really struggled to move the ball, particularly inside the, from 25 to 25. We've been, we moved it fairly well. It's as that
down
field,
in that red zone.
As that field starts to shorten up and things get a little bit more cluttered. That's where we've struggled a little bit today.
So we got 3rd down and looks to be about 21 from the 36-yard line. CSP comes to the line, two receivers left, 1 right. Curtis from the shotgun, and we'll see what kind of offensive play we have here. Going to put Gabe Roth in motion, coming across the field from the near side to the far side. Curtis gets the snap, and the throw is a little short of Gabe Roth, and that's going to be bringing up a 4th down call. And, the clock, 8 minutes left. Even though you got a mile to go here, do you give it a chance, maybe get a penalty or possibly even get the first down? But, I don't think you punt it from here.
No, probably not. If you've got to play, the play here may be to send Micah on a go route and know that you have a height advantage and throw it up and either – let him go up and get it and make a play, or, maybe you have a pass interference that helps you out.
So we've got receivers 2 left, 2 right. Curtis from the shotgun. And once again, number 87. That would be number 5. That's Luke Padgett, the running back. He came in unblocked up the middle. kind of on a delayed blitz, and is going to tackle Curtis for, another 12-yard loss probably. And that's going to end the CSP drive there as Randolph's going to take the ball over on downs, and they're going to be in business from about the 47-yard line of the Wolfpack, 1st and 10. 8:52 left here in the fourth quarter, down 16-0. CSP needs to figure out a way to get into the end zone.
Yeah, Randolph is when it's 4th and 20. Randolph knows what's coming, and so they can pin their ears back. Coaching staff for Randolph called a blitz there, which was obviously the right call, and as a result, to turn over on downs.
So now Randolph's to the line. They're going to give it to their number 1 running back, Xander Hine, who's going to be stopped for basically no yardage on the right-hand side. But I think Coach Brent Brown from Randolph's probably going to be content to let this thing kind of just work its way through here and keep the ball on the ground and give it to your guy. And the clock is their friend, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that was a microcosm play of the day for CSP to some degree. The handoff was made. Initial contact at the line of scrimmage, and to be honest with you, Xander Hine fumbled the football, and the ball bounced right back up into his stomach as he was going down. So, it's that sometimes you get the bounces and sometimes you don't.
Must have had Cheerios for breakfast this morning or something. Give him a little good luck.
Yeah.
So now we got Paget up the middle, and he's going to get about 5 yards before Micah Willink lays his shoulder into his knee and brings him to the ground. But it's going to be a 3rd down and about 2 for the Randolph Cardinal. 7:49 on a moving clock, and CSP is not necessarily giving up the big play here, but the clock is running, and they need to get the ball back.
Yeah, this no secret what Randolph's going to do here.
Receivers left, receivers right, power eye look, same play. Up the middle, this one's Xander Hine. We stack him up, but not before he gets about 1.5 yards, which is about all he needed. And they're actually going to mark him about a couple inches short of that first down marker. The officials are marking this as a 4th down call now. So from the angle I had, I thought he got it, but we'll leave it up to the officials on the field. And it's going to be 4th down and about the length of the football. And
and this is where you want penetration on your defensive front to try to stop this.
So they're going to hand it to Paget up the middle, and he easily makes it for about 6 yards right up the middle of the CSP defense. And it looks like some of those big Randolph players, some of those guys inside are just starting to kind of inflict their will around here just a little bit. But Paget, number 5, is on the ground. He's rolled over from his stomach to his back. The Randolph coaching staff is making their way out to the field to check on that player, and we'll take a minute to plug some of our sponsors here. This Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is being made possible with funding from Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry. For over 50 years, Leisure Time has offered motorcycles, dirt bikes, side-by-sides, snowmobiles, and agricultural equipment. We thank Leisure Time Power Sports in Corry and Bradford for their support. Dale and Cindy Appleby at Appleby Motorsports are proud supporters of the Wolfpack and the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Appleby Motorsports, located in North Clymer, offers racing accessories and chassis setup for race teams in the region. We thank Appleby Motorsports for their support. And funding for this Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream broadcast is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices in Panama and Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. As the Randolph player makes his way off to the field under his own power, and so we're going to resume play here with 6:48 left here in the fourth quarter. The Randolph offensive squad is on the field. Quarterback Conley is under center, and we got a power eye look again. And that's going to be to the new fullback. That's going to be number 44, Peyton Slade. That's his first carry of the ball game today. And just like that, number 5, Paget, who had been the player that was down, is back on the field now. And number 44 is trotting back off the field.
He just needed a little breather.
Yep, looked like one of those.
He's been good today. Paget's been good.
Yep.
In fact, I would maybe say that he's been slightly better than Hind.
Yeah.
Just an overall little wildcat here, Brian.
Yeah, a little wildcat is right. Got Xander Hind is going to take the snap direct, and he's going to scamper off the right-hand side, and he is fast around that end, and he's going to get enough for a Randolph first down, about 15 yards on the direct snap out of the wildcat, and that's going to give Randolph another first down, and they're going to take the ball down to about the 25-yard line, the 20-yard line, and that's going to give Randolph another first down. First and 10 from the 20. 6:04 left on a moving clock. CSP 0, Randolph 16. Quarterback under center is going to take the snap. Another handoff to Padgett up the middle. And tough sledding, but he still gets about 3 yards up the middle. And like you said earlier, little thunder and lightning here. Padgett, he's a big bruiser, and Hind is kind of the lightning around the end, and they're making hay here.
Yeah, it's a nice little combination. They don't do anything fancy, but you probably know what they're going to do. But
they've had the same offensive formation now for about 10 plays in a row, and they're just content to hand it off to their big running backs, and this time the quarterback takes it for a kind of a keeper around the end, and he's going to get 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, and Randolph has been running this offense. I think even when you and I played, Brian, Randolph ran this option, very ball-controlled running. So coaching staff is very well-versed in it.
Pat Slater was the head coach for years and years and years in Randolph, and Brent Brown is a Pat Slater disciple. So,
yeah. And they grow big farming offensive linemen, and
they got a big bruising running back, number 5, who takes the handoff from the quarterback and scampers about 8 yards up the middle of the CSP defense, and they're ringing them off in chunks at the moment here, Kyle.
Yeah, this is this is when those first and second quarter run plays really can pay dividends in the fourth quarter when defense is
kind of on their hunches just a little bit.
Yeah,
so
on their heels and tired, and
so that's going to give Randolph first and goal from the 7-yard line. 4:15 left here in the fourth quarter. Randolph 16, CSP 0, and Randolph to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback under center. Once again, that power eye look. This time they give it to the back. And Xander Hind is going to stumble forward. They're going to give him progress to about the 1-yard line. So he's going to be about a half a yard short from the goal line. And it's going to bring up second down. And we have 3:50 left here in the fourth quarter. And Coach Harper and Coach Payne are still trying to run guys in and out. That's a long run, even from the sideline here. Especially when you get all the way to the sideline and the coach tells you, no, you weren't supposed to come out, which is what Owen White just had happen to him.
Owen just got a little bit of extra exercise.
Yep. Handoff to Xander Hind around the right tackle, and he's in for the Randolph score. Off the right side, and we had him bottled up, but like we said, he only needed about 1.5 yards or so, and that's going to make the score 22 for Randolph, 0 for CSP with 3:21 left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I knew this game was going to be tight, Brian. If I probably wouldn't have said that Randolph's defense would have, at least to this point, held us to a goose egg on the scoreboard. But otherwise, Randolph really hasn't done anything that is all that surprising.
They just line up and say, here we come. Yep. So the quarterback under center for the 2-point conversion here, and he's going to hold it up, and he's going to give it on the option to Xander Hind, and they're going to say no good on the 2-point conversion off the right-hand side on the option play. CSP defense stiffens, and so that's going to negate the 2-point conversion, but that's going to leave the score 22 for Randolph and 0 for the CSP Wolfpack with 3:21 left here in the fourth quarter. The Wolfpack broadcast on the Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery, 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods. 716-234-4002 or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook. Go Wolfpack from Arlene's Dutch Kitchen. This Wolfpack football broadcast is being underwritten in part by Necker's Company General Store. For over 100 years, Necker's Company has served Clymer with groceries, meats, deli, footwear, and gift items. The Channel 98.9 sports stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support. And Fat Mon's Grub in Quarry is an underwriter of this Wolfpack football broadcast. Fat Mon's menu includes pizzas, subs, salads, and dinners. Takeout or eat in. 814-964-3158. The Corry Federal Credit Union Channel 98.9 sports team thanks Fat Mon's Grub for their support. As Randolph kicks off, once again, kind of a squib kick, and it's going to be picked up by Cooper Brown on the right hand, Trent Birchanowski around the right-hand side. Trent makes a nice move to the middle of the field, but is bottled up by a host of Randolph Cardinal defenders. And we're going to have kind of a late hit there on the Randolph team, but that did not get called. And so CSP is going to take over, first down and 10 from about the 27-yard line. Trent thought he saw some daylight down the middle of the field there, and he cut it back, and that was kind of what Randolph was waiting on, I think.
Yeah, close quickly. So 3:10 remaining here in the fourth, 22, Randolph 22, CSP 0. This is
well, you like to kind of finish maybe with with a flurry here. If we can get, a couple offensive plays and get some points on the board, that would go a long ways toward lifting the spirits here a little bit.
Yeah, I want to get some momentum for not only next week but as we go through as we finish out the year here.
Curtis Olson from the shotgun. He's back for the pass, looking, and he's got Lucas Lysandro on a drag route across the field. Lucas is looking for daylight, and he's going to get about an 8-yard gain on a first down play. A lot of good moves there by Lucas Lysandro.
Yeah, and I think that's as we take things away from this game, that's one thing, we were trying to hit the big play a lot, and I think if we go back and watch the film, I think, based on the pressure from the defense, I think things a little bit quicker hitting passes. Here's a run for Gabe.
Run by Gabe on the outside, and gets enough for a first down, about 4 yards. Just going to bring it to be a first down and 10 from the Randolph 40 or CSP 40-yard line, actually.
Gabe comes off limping a little bit. He's been dealing with a bit of an ankle
issue. A little
issue.
bit of a creaky ankle over there, yep.
Yeah. So at this point, we want to get out of this game with no more injuries.
So how does that work with a player ejection? Do you lose today and next week too?
I don't know that. It's happens so infrequent. Just in games, nice little.
So we got a little bubble screen there. That's going to go to Cooper Brown up the left-hand side, and Cooper made about a 13-yard play off of a bubble screen that actually got thrown backwards as a lateral. So that was a lot of good blocking downfield by Cooper's teammates as he made his way up the left sideline. And CSP at the line of scrimmage, 2:06 with a running clock left. First down and 10 from the CSP 47-yard line. Curtis Olson from the shotgun again, and he's got good protection. Once again, Trent Birchanowski with a catch, and he's going to have about a 5-yard reception, and it's going to be second down and 5 from about the 39-yard line. And I think that might be Trent's first catch of the year.
Yeah, I think so. And, Randolph is very content allowing CSP to complete those 5- and 10-yard passes, allowing the clock to run.
Once again, Curtis out of the shotgun. He's going to catch Cooper Brown around the left-hand side for another completion, and that's going to be enough for a 5-yard gain, which will be enough for a CSP first down. So, like you said, Kyle, maybe some of this style offense would work better against Randolph. We tried to hit him with 2 or 3 deep plays in that first half, and just past the outstretched hands of 3 different receivers.
Yep.
These 5-yard little, drag patterns, I call them, they seem to be working pretty good right now.
Well, and in high school, too, with let this play go here.
So Curtis is scrambling around to his right-hand side out of the shotgun. He's got number 33 from Randolph that's trying to get him. Curtis escapes the tackle, and he's going to throw it wisely at the knees of
Lucas Lysandro, number 32.
Lucas Lysandro, number 32. Lucas was kind of getting ridden to the ground, and that was a smart play. Curtis did a nice job evading the defender from Randolph. That could have been a sack. Curtis is really good at that, actually.
Yeah,
he had 3 or 4 of those last week where he ducks and dives, and he's a big kid. He's tough to bring down, and he just kind of slide right over top of him. So CSP offense back on the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. Curtis in the shotgun. Throw to the right-hand side here, and well outside the reach of Gabe Roth, who had him in the flats. But that ball was probably going to be an uncatchable one, at least 5 yards over top of Gabe's head. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 from the CSP 31-yard line.
1:07 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Randolph 22, CSP 0. Looks like Coach Harper wants to call a timeout here. The other benefit of a shorter passing game, particularly in the high school level, Brian, is it allows the ball to get out of your quarterback's hands quicker into some playmakers' hands, more than likely in the open field.
Yep.
And with anytime high school kids are trying to tackle, it's a challenge, and so I'm sure the coaching staff will go back, watch the film, and we'll definitely have a different game plan if and when we play Randolph again.
Yeah, so Allegheny Power Equipment, Route 426 east of Quarry, is an underwriter of this Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream. Allegheny Power Equipment has worked with the small engine industry with parts and service for decades. 814-664-9291, channel 98.9. Thanks, Allegheny Power Equipment, for their support. CSP on the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10 from the 36-yard line, actually, is what it is. We got Curtis in the shotgun, retreats back. He's got a good pocket formed around him. It's going to be completion to Gabe Roth, who has good blocking down the field by Michael Willink. Gabe makes about a 15, 18-yard completion down the right-hand side, and that was a nicely designed play.
Yeah, that was just what we were talking about. Get it out in the flat, get them in open field, and let your playmakers make plays.
Yep. Right to the line again. 54 seconds left here and a running clock in the fourth quarter. Curtis Olson from the shotgun once again. He's going to be under pressure, and it's going to be almost lassoed by Gabe Roth, but it falls to the ground. Incomplete pass. Gabe Roth over the middle, had him open, threw it just a little bit behind him, and I don't think that was going to go for a lot. There was 3 Randolph defenders right there, but it does stop the clock.
Yeah, it'd be nice for CSP to punch one in here, get something on the scoreboard, get some momentum as we head into next week.
Yep. So once again, Curtis from the shotgun, trips left, wide right. He's retreating back. Another defensive end coming across untouched, but Gabe Roth makes a nice completion and gains enough for almost a CSP first down. He needed about 18. He got about 17 and a half, it looks like.
Really nice job by Curtis there. He stood in the pocket. He knew he was going to get hit. He could see the guy in his. He could see the guy in his face, and
so that was enough for a first down. Referees are whistling the ball in play. 27 seconds left. Curtis from the shotgun. He's going to have across the middle, Lucas Lissandro, I believe that is, and that's going to be caught for a completion with 14 seconds left. They're going to want to spike it. Second down play coming up. Curtis trying to get everybody set, make sure no one's in motion, and spike the ball, in which we did with 6 seconds left. So we're going to have second down and goal from about the 6-yard line, Kyle. Like we said, this would be a little momentum or a little positive to kind of end the day here. I wouldn't say momentum shift, but it's going to be potentially a positive. We've been moving the ball here this drive.
This has been important for the offense. The offense has gotten some momentum here. They got a little bit of a rhythm, and if they're able to punch something in here, it'd be a real big boost. But even if they don't, I do think you can take something away from this last minute and a half on the offensive side of the ball.
So likely to be the last play of the game here. Curtis Olson retreats to his deep position. He's going to get a block from one of his offensive linemen, and he's ultimately going to end up taking a sack. And that's going to do it, folks. Curtis Olson goes down about the 8-yard line, looking to throw the ball in to try and at least get CSP some points on the board. But the game is going to end with CSP on the short end today. Randolph came here and hung 22 points on us, and CSP unable to score. So the score is going to end up 22-0.
Yeah, Randolph came in as the underdog, and they stuck to what they do best, and that's run the football, and played really good defense. and steal a term from Cameron Barmore, they punched us in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that's a well-coached team, we can take away from this. We can learn from it, and come back next week. We've got a tough game next week against Franklinville-Ellicottville. Randolph beat Franklinville-Ellicottville 36-26. We play St. Mary's next week.
St. Mary's, I'm showing that as a non-league home game for us, and I believe that's going to be up in Sherman starting at 1:30 next Saturday.
That's right.
Is that the homecoming game?
That is homecoming, yeah.
Okay, so St. Mary's, I know absolutely nothing about them other than they're in Lancaster.
Yeah, they're up in the Buffalo area, and that should be that's a good test for us. In the past we've played teams like Depew.
And we got Lackawanna on the schedule this year too.
So that'll be another good test, but it'll be important for us to rebound. We do not want to allow one bad week to impact the second week.
Yep.
And so we got to be able to rebound. For those fans of the Ted Lasso show, you got to be a goldfish. Goldfish have a memory of 10 seconds, and so you got to be a goldfish. You got to learn from what we didn't do well this week. We'll continue to expand on what we did well, and fight back.
And on that note, Crotty Chevy player of the game for this week. It's always a little difficult sometimes when you're on the losing end. But I thought Cooper Brown really had a nice job, especially in the second half. He had a couple nice runs after catch, and he had a couple kickoff returns that kind of helped us out a little bit. So I wouldn't say we had any one shining star, which is kind of the way this team is built this year. You don't have a John Swabick or somebody like that you turn to say this is going to be our guy. It's been a team of multiples, and today was Cooper's day. It's not going to be enough in a defeat. But a little shout out to Cooper Brown with the Crotty Chevy player of the game.
Yep, I think Cooper did a great job on both sides of the football. But he was kind of the shining star when it came to receiving, and it's good. It's good for Cooper. Cooper's a senior, and we'll continue to look for good things from Cooper the rest of the year.
Well, we thank everybody for listening and watching on Facebook Live and any other method that you use to kind of follow the CSP Wolfpack team. And with a final of 22 for Randolph, 0 for CSP, we're going to sign off from Jack Keeney Field next week, Saturday, 1:30 at the Sherman Football Field. CSP versus St. Mary's. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union sports stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is brought to you by Lictus Oil and Propane, Triple E Manufacturing, Mosier's Carpeting and Floor Covering, Crouch's Garage, First Place Auto Glass, Krager Racing Engines, and Mike's Machine, Leisure Time Power Sports of Corry, U-Tag's Body Shop, Corry Pre-Owned Auto Sales, Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant, Finn's Auto Sales, Appleby Motorsports, J. Edwards Insurance, Necker's Company General Store, Crotty Chevrolet and Buick, Fat Mon's Grub, Allegheny Power Equipment, Woods Auto Parts Napa and Woods Power Sports, and the Corry Federal Credit Union. Join us next time for all the action, channel989.org.